Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite yapper, Dan VR. Now, the other day, I saw a video talking about how Deepwoken has lost it. Deepwoken is dying, as if enough of those videos have not already been made. But I'm here. I escaped from my employment cave, right? The J slur, I'll spare your ears. But I put some time aside to talk about my favorite game, Deepwoken. Starting off, man, I caught a stray. I caught a stray in the video because this guy is talking about how content creators are glazing the game. You blowing from Stupid Town, dickwad? I've been hating on this game since it came out. Day one, second one. Bro, the first week there's a video of me hating on the game. I'm the harbinger of doom for the developers. I have never once shied away from calling this game dog shit. He insinuates that there's some grand conspiracy, right? That he is one of the founding fathers, a pillar of free speech. Do you know who you're talking to? I led a second American Revolution on this game, and you're talking about free speech and doing what's right? Motherfucker, I'm pretty much George Washington in this bitch-ass game. People don't talk about the game being shit because there's nothing left to say. Oh, there's no content. The devs don't listen. The game is dry. Wow, we said that 12 months ago. And those of us that do have more information than the general public understand that that's not changing anytime soon, right? They're working on updating the backlogs of content. They're updating like the base code for the game. Me going on stream and saying the devs are shit, that's not gonna change anything in their plans. The next thing he brings up is PvE. Oh my god, when I hear you guys in the community talk about PvE, it's like the great fallacy, right? You're Schrodinger's retard. Everybody talks about PvE like it's gonna save the game. We need more bosses. Well, you got bosses with world events, and you don't play it. Oh, well, I get the rewards for nothing. The next boss will be identical. I promise you that. The next boss will be identical. You'll get the rewards for doing nothing. Or layer 3. Layer 3 will save. Raise your hand. Who here wants layer 3? Yes. Who here will play it? Oh. It was the same thing with Layer 2. Nobody plays Layer 2 for the PvE. It's boring. People called it boring a week and a half after it came out. It was always about the rewards. It was always about getting knowledge. That's why you did Layer 2. You got knowledge to make a new build. But then when Moon's Eyes became readily available, nobody plays Layer 2. Right? Everybody's going to talk about a new layer will save the game. Ask your mates right now. Hey, you want to go do an Etheron run with me? No one's doing it, bro. It'll be no different with Layer 3. It'll follow the same path of like, oh my god, new area, this is so cool. And then after a week, you're bored of it because it's super linear. This is Roblox after all. And then the rewards are just going to get turned into relics. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic, bro. It's just not. If you want new PvE, I don't know, man. Think of something different because the devs aren't going to add some more fucking... Low-key, actually, they said they were going to add bosses and they didn't. So, like, actually, W community, these fucking knuckle-dragging ape devs don't know how to do anything. Yeah, man, I don't really know what you guys expect. Because in the same sentence, people will say, PvE is what matters. Stop focusing on PvP. Next talking point. The game is unbalanced. I hate getting depths ganked and not being able to fight back. Gang, that is PvP. If the game is not balanced, all facets of it struggle. The game has to be balanced. PvE, PvP. Look, this is a bygone era. The game you're talking about, a roguelike, MMO, that game is dead, and it's been dead for a long time. It's why they removed the little to no handholding on the hardcore description from the game. This is a build-making simulator. You make a ton of builds, and then you go and fight people, or you go and fight bosses. And then you make a new build, and you redo that same content, because in your mind, this new build is just incrementally better, so it's a different gameplay experience. Deepwoken is incredibly replayable right now, this moment. It just lacks novelty. You can replay this game over and over and over, and make probably an unlimited amount of builds. But there's just not a lot of novelty. There's not a lot of new things to go do with the builds. And I promise you, adding another layer is not going to change anything because it's going to get played through and then it's going to get boring and nobody's going to care. Everyone cares about the rewards. People shit on, we don't want new oaths. We don't want new weapons. We don't want new paths. And then they add some fucking like steam path, 2 talents, like abysmal dog shit, and the player count spikes massively, and a new bell spikes massively. That is what you want. Historically, the game functions best when we get new items, we get new oaths, we get new legendary weapons, because that is the most replayable part of the game. Alright, if you add a boss, you can fight the boss a couple times, then you're bored. You add a new attunement, like Bloodrend, you can probably make 10,000 different Bloodrend builds. You could, like, that is the most replayable part of the game. And that's not just an opinion piece, the data shows that. Anytime K1 would go on a legendary, like, weekly run, that's when the game is most successful. Maestro by himself in a weekly is more successful than half the fucking things you guys are going to suggest. And finally, because I know people are going to bring this up, well, why don't the devs do this? Why don't the devs do that? You have to be realistic. And I've said this to Archmage, I've shit on the developers for this incessantly. They do not, like, work on each other's shit. The same reason, like, Bloodrend and Ironsing and all this broken shit in the game never gets fixed is because K1 made it. And if K1 isn't around, it's not being fixed. They only touch their individual projects. So if a new attunement came out, let's say Dex drops Lifeweave, and then he goes on vacation for 3 months. Lifeweave will not change for 3 months. That's just the way they develop the game. It's stupid. It fucks everything up, but that's why you have to be realistic. There are a lot of changes we'd all love to see in the game, and that's a lot of changes that will never happen because the person responsible for it simply is not there.